Welcome to Unapologetically Rich, the show for high-achieving women who refuse to settle. I've helped over 51 women become millionaires and multimillionaires. You're next. I'm here to unlock the next level of wealth, freedom, fulfillment, and feminine power. So hit the follow button, share this with every woman who needs to hear it, and get ready, because every week we're diving deep and rising higher. This is the Unapologetically Rich Show. Are you ready? Let's get to it. Welcome back to the Unapologetically Rich Show. I'm your host, Shamina Taylor. In today's episode, I'm going to talk to you about rewiring our mind and how our beliefs can affect us, or they can be something that break us. And if you are a high-performing woman or a woman who is a business owner and you are operating your business and you are using some of these things, you might be actually leaving money on the table, creating more stress for yourself, and putting yourself at a disadvantage instead of an advantage to really get to that next level of success and wealth that you want to. So stay tuned to this, because I believe that this show today is going to enlighten you in ways you probably never saw before. It's also going to help you see maybe you're doing something that you think is productive in your life, but it's actually counterproductive, and it's costing you time, money, your emotions, your stress, all the things. And hopefully you can find something today to course correct that and help put you in a state where you can thrive and become the greatest, best version of yourself with all the success coming your way. And again, don't forget to go leave your girl a review. I'm loving the reviews coming through. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate them. It's on the Apple app and the Spotify app. So going ahead and leaving a review there, we do appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe and share this with a friend, because sharing is abundance and we want you to promote more of that. Okay, I'm going to list a couple of behaviors and things that I believe that I see as a pattern in the thousands of women that I've mentored, and being able to identify them are something that we've normalized for women who are been high performers. We've normalized this behavior because we think it's something we're supposed to be doing. Most of the women that I work with that are come into my space are constantly on. They don't really have an off button. Their off button is broken, or it never got ignited. They're constantly doing everything for everyone. And the thought of even slowing down makes her feel guilty, or she feels lazy, or she feels like she should be doing more. She pushes herself to the brink because guess what? She can't. Her mind never stops thinking about her business, her clients, or all the things that she has to do. Another thing is she's running on adrenaline. If she slows down, she feels like she's going to fail. I know some of you might be nodding your head already, so stay tuned. There's more. Keep listening. She's addicted to productivity and validation from doing. I've been there, and I understand this one very well. She's at capacity mentally, emotionally, and energetically, but she still says yes to things that she doesn't want to do because she decides that she can do them anyway. How many of us have said yes to things that we were like, why the hell am I saying yes to this? Why did I say yes to this? There's this thing going around on the internet, and we don't care anymore club. I love it. And it's like, she said, I might have said yes a week ago, but today it's a no. So for those of you, this is something that you have to start thinking about. Okay. She doesn't feel like she can rest without guilt. I can't tell you how many clients come to me with this as being one of their number one things that they present to me. How do I slow down? I feel lazy. I should be doing more. I'm like, this is part of the process. She micromanages her business and her team because she doesn't trust that things will get done right. How many of you are still answering the phone, emails, and doing things you're not supposed to do and working those hourly tasks instead of being in your zone of genius? I'm talking to you. She's stuck in decision fatigue. There's too many moving parts. And so when there's a lot of chaos going on around decisions, she can't even make one. She can't think clearly about her next level because she's in maintenance and survival mode. And when we're in survival mode, we are not in thriving mode. Now, did any of those things that I listed, it doesn't have to be all. I mean, some of you might be like, I got all of them. It could be a few of them. But those things of why you're in that state, I'm going to explain to you on this show, and you're going to understand why you're there and what's happening. And maybe you don't realize that you're even actually doing it. And a lot of the times I think women are just stuck doing their thing that they've always done because that's how it's done. And because they're in this state, what happens is worry gets created. Oh my gosh, I didn't do this. I can't trust someone's going to do this. I've got to do it myself. And worry is like this thing that really absorbs your time and creates such a trap for you that you can't even get out of. And for many people, they just assume that worrying is like a normal part of their day. And the things that I described to you right now creates immense worry in someone's nervous system, in their prefrontal cortex, and their fight or flight. And then what it does is it takes them out of that feminine state of being in the creative, trusting, allowing into, I got to protect myself. I got to armor up. I've got to make sure that this doesn't happen to me. So I've got to make sure I know everything. Now, keep listening, because what I just described to you was belief systems, the mental state. And when you're constantly in that trying to figure it out, you are navigating all the what could happen situations. Like, this could happen, that could happen. So you're trying to prevent anything from, going wrong so that you can have success at the end. However, most women spend so much time trying to prevent something from happening. They create unnecessary worry, trying to plan and strategize and figure out every moving part of a situation so that they don't have to handle any type of disappointment. And most of the time, all they're using is their mind thinking, well, if I think through this long enough, I'm going to get the answer. However, that usually is not the case. And that usually doesn't produce a result that gets them to the next level where they want to be. So when a woman is constantly on and she's in that do mode and she's thinking all the time about her business, about everything, she's not leaving room for her feminine frequency to come in. What does that mean? She's not leaving room for her vulnerability. She's not leaving room for her creativity. She's not leaving room for something that's so imperative for her next step. And it's this simple word I'm going to tell you right now. And it's called TRUST, trust. So for many women that come to work with me, they and listen to me and read my book, one of the number one things they say is that they have a hard time trusting. And trust does not come easy for them. Trust is a very, very, very difficult emotion to feel and to allow in their lives. So this is why they're always on. This is why they're micromanaging. This is why they don't have a team supporting them. This is why they feel they can't rest without guilt. This is why they don't listen to their intuition and allow it to tell them what it needs to tell them. They overanalyze, they get into their minds, and they literally stop listening to their intuition, which is their highest self. And their higher self is speaking to them, and they can't even hear it. And so while most women will tell me they're highly intuitive, I'll tell you that that might be the case, but 99% of them don't actually listen to their intuition because they just actually aren't wired for it. They do not have the capacity and capability to listen to what's been said to them because they will overthink and overanalyze exactly what they're hearing. They'll ask for a million signs to confirm this idea that popped into their head. And then they're like, I don't know, this can't be right. This can't be right. So they go back to trying to control the narrative on every single thing. So when you get to this place, a couple things that are happening. You have mental and energetic overload. So you're not actually getting into alignment because you're spending so much time worrying about an outcome. You're spending so much time doing tasks and behaviors that you shouldn't be doing in your life and business. And you're spending an exorbitant amount of time doing the thing that actually doesn't get you the result that you want. But because you feel that you have to do everything, you're going to go and do everything, which puts you at capacity, puts you on the edge of burnout, puts you in a place where you're hitting an income ceiling, where you're hitting every ceiling, where you're feeling like, I just want to burn this whole thing down and leave it and go somewhere else. A lot of the times that happens, right? And what happens is we get addicted to this productivity. We get addicted to doing the thing because most of the time when we're addicted to something, it's not because it's healthy for us. It's because we feel like that's the only choice that we have. And then if I keep doing it, hopefully I'll get this result that I want. And when you're at a mental capacity, you start seeing the world from a different place, right? You only see it from one lens, and that's a survival state. It's not from a place of like, wow, there's endless possibilities. There's endless things that could come into my world. There's all these doors opening up for me. I have, wow, all these ideas. Because when you're in survival state, it's like, oh man, I just gotta get to my to-do list, and then tomorrow I'll wake up and start all over again. Just gotta get through today. Just gotta get through today. And then you get to a point where you're just checking next off of your list, and you're not actually being fully present in your life. So You're not tapping into the emotions of what it feels like to have the success, what it feels like to be present, what it feels like to celebrate this emotional state that you're in because you don't even have emotions that are working. You're just like, what's next? What's next? What's next? And I've seen so many powerful women going through this this process. And listen, I don't know what goes on fully in their world, but I can look on the outside how they're performing. And then I question, like, are you able to really enjoy your life? Or are you just burning out because you're trying to fulfill something inside of you with work and with validations and with these goals that you've set? And you yourself are saying, wow, that doesn't actually feel good. I don't feel fulfilled, not necessarily saying it out loud, but the fact is that once you've done something really huge, you're like, okay, what's next? What's next? What's next? And I'm not saying for people to slow down and not be successful and not go to the next thing or wanting to have more because I feel like if it's available for you, you go out there and get it. What I'm talking about is like not enjoying where you're at. And the only way that you can really feel into that enjoyment is if you've been able to master your emotions and be able to remove the toxicity that's actually got you in this survival state, which has got you into a place where you need validation. This is the wounded feminine energy coming through. Somebody who needs validation, when you're getting triggered and you're reacting instead of responding. Feminine, that's a wounded feminine state. When you're constantly on and working nonstop, that's your wounded masculine. And this is not just to label things, this is just to give you an awareness of like, what am I doing and why am I doing this? Because if I asked you right now, if I've got this magic wand, I got some selenite here. I got this magic wand and hey, what would your ideal day look like? What would you like to remove from your day or your plate? What would you tell me? Or would you keep everything the same the way it is? I know for most women, they want to live a life fulfilled with all the things. They want to work less theoretically, but they don't know how. They want to be able to enjoy what's been presented in front of them, but they don't know how. Because on is the only switch that they have. Off doesn't exist. I'll tell you, in the off is where all the magic happens. And you cannot just be off all the time. You've got to have an on and an off. So I'm not telling you right now that, oh yeah, you're just going to be off all the time and expect shit to get done because that's just not going to work. But there has to be a balancing of both. And for many women, just because you can do it doesn't mean it needs to get done. Goes back to the waking up at 5 a.m., feeling the need to, that's the only time I can get up to get all of this done. There's going to be a time where you hit a wall. And being on is no longer going to be something where you're going to be able to do that anymore because you're going to get to a place where you want balance. I saw a video being played and it was on Instagram and the gal said like, I've gotten everything. I've hustled my ass off and got it. But then there's a part of me that wants the soft part. I want to be able to slow down and spend time with my kids and not miss soccer practices or school events. I want there to be a part of me that has permission to slow down so I can not feel like I have to be producing all the time, but I just don't know how, is what she said. So she's craving this part of her life that's not presented to her because she's afraid if I step away from my business, it's going to fall apart without me. I'll tell you right now, if you're running a business that requires you to be in it every single day, you have a job. You have not figured out how to create a business that still creates income, reoccurring, and can run without you if you have to be there every single day. Look, Business 101 is creating a business that you can exit at one point. Being able to put something together that doesn't always require you to be there. When I see people running coaching businesses and if they aren't on, they don't get paid. To me, I'm like, this is dangerous. What if you should get sick or something should happen to you? How will this company still grow and make money without you? I took a month off practically in the month of July to go to Europe with my kids, and we'll be doing it again this summer again. And while I was gone, my business still made money. My team still ran the business, and they actually took a week off each. And they still were able to create income from the business. So if you are constantly on and have to feel like you have to be working in order to make money, then that's what you're feeding into the business beliefs. That If I'm not here, this business is not going to function without me. If I'm not here, this business is going to fall apart. That means you don't have the systems and frameworks in place. You don't have, the proper team members to help you. You don't have a scalability for your business because it's just you. Have not taken accessing the quantum through emotional self mastery. Run and get it right now. Join our millionaire club. Let's elevate and expand you to that next level. All right. If you love this, share this episode with somebody who needs it. Tags me on socials, on Instagram. And your girl would love a review from you. I would love to hear what you had to think and say about this. And I'm here for you. I want you to be the baddest baddie you can be. I want you to see that you get to be in a state of thriving. Listen, nobody told us we could do this. I'm not letting life stress me down. And I've got all the wisdom now. So this version of me, not only is she looking and feeling like she's in her, 30s, she's got the wisdom of a woman who's lived a life. And that does make me the baddest bitch in the room. And it'll make you the baddest bitch in the room. And I say that from a place of power because we get to be so empowered. All right. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something from this. Come join us. I want to see you thrive, soar, and become the greatest version of yourself and the wealthiest version of yourself and have those deep relationships because at the end of the day, when all is said and done and you are on your deathbed, you're going to wish that you had relationships that you loved so hard. People loved you and you connected and you felt every single freaking emotion that you came here to feel because money and success is not going with you, baby. And you're not going to look back and go, man, I wish I made more money. You're going to be like, I wish I loved and felt more fulfilled in my lifetime than I do now. Because having a success and not being able to feel it, wow, that's the biggest strategy you could ever have in your life. All right, stay tuned for another show. Bye for now.